Hey guys, Madison here, back for another Film Friday, and today is going to be my Western of the month, and this week's Western is patron requested. So today I'm going to be watching Little Big Man, starring Dustin Hoffman. Never seen this one, don't know much about it. I read the little synopsis that IMDb offered, so I now know this movie is about a guy who was raised by Native Americans, and then it said fought with Custer, so I was like, did he fight alongside Custer, or does that mean he fought against Custer? I don't know, the wording was a little confusing. I guess I'll find out. But yeah, so now I know a little bit about this movie, and I saw something that made me think maybe it was a little comedic. I don't know if it's a lot comedic or just a little bit comedic, but again, I guess I will find out. So basically, in case you can't tell, this is pretty much just another total blind watch for me. I did not know anything about this movie until I just read the little IMDb synopsis. But as you know, if you've been following my channel, I love Westerns. The Western is my favorite genre. I write Western novels. So yeah, you could say I am a big fan. Before I jump into this week's reaction, I just wanted to say a huge thank you for the outpouring of love and support and kind words, because if you missed the announcement, my novel Cimarron Dove is a finalist for the 2025 Spur Awards, a huge dream come true. I cannot believe it. And yeah, may or may not have cried when I got that phone call. I totally did. So thank you to everyone who has read Cimarron Dove, who have supported my writing endeavors, who have left kind reviews, everything. Thank you so much. And I couldn't be doing what I do without you guys and your support. So thank you so much. And before I get emotional, let's jump into the reaction and let's check out Little Big Man.
My name is Jack Crab, and I am the sole survivor of the Battle of Little Big Horn.
Tall tales. I'm interested in the way of life of the Indian rather than adventure.
I guess that's one way of putting it.
Little Big Horn was not representative of encounters between whites and Indians, Mr. Crab.
It wasn't?
Near genocide of the Indian.
Yeah, it was. It would be classified as genocide today.
111 years ago, when I was 10 years old, my family was wiped out by a band of wild Indians.
111 years ago, he was 10 years old, so he's 121 years old when he's narrating this. Wow. I'm assuming that was actually Dustin Hoffman and a lot of makeup. Seemed like it was a lot of old man makeup on him. Can tell by kind of how stiff his features were and just covered up. Gosh, I cannot imagine.
Bye, Jack. I'll see you in heaven.
Goodbye, Caroline.
We didn't know the difference then, but it was a band of Pawnee what attacked us before. But this one wasn't a Pawnee. He was a Cheyenne brave. His name was Shadow That Comes in Sight.
Actually happened quite often in reality and history. They would just wipe out a whole family, and then either that same tribe would take the children and adopt them and raise them, or a different tribe would come in and raise the children like Indians.
What do they want, Caroline?
It's as plain as day what they want. Me.
Uh-oh. They know she ain't a man now.
I don't think they're gonna bother you, Caroline.
They'll get me tonight.
She's awfully melodramatic, isn't she? I mean, she might not be wrong. She might be right, but she was like, yeah, I know what they want. Me.
Poor Caroline never did have no luck with men.
Oh my gosh. I see where the comedy's coming into this. She do it.
The next morning, I found myself in that Indian camp all alone.
She just rode off and left him? Oh my gosh. Some sister she was.
They gave me a real treat for breakfast. Boiled dog.
Ugh.
For a boy, it was a kind of paradise. I wasn't just playing Indian, I was living Indian.
Gosh, I can't get over this landscape. It's so gorgeous.
There's gonna be a war party, but you can't go. You're too little and weak like a girl. I'm sorry, younger bear.
You should never feel sorry about beating an enemy. I had made the first real enemy of my life.
There once was a human being, and he was very small. He went on a war party against the Pawnees. Finally, they cut off his head, but he kept fighting without his head, and they ran away. Little man was small, but his bravery was big.
I see the moral of the story.
We will leave the Pawnees here. You two will hold them.
I don't want to stay here. I want to go to the Pawnee camp.
You have spoken out of turn. They didn't have to even say anything. Just the look was enough.
You aren't even a human being. You're white.
Uh-oh.
Little white man. Big foolin'. You want to eat? Little white man. Not mad, huh?
For real?
Fix this bad engine for little white man.
Oh my gosh.
I always felt kind of bad about that poor pony.
Oh my gosh.
I give you these ponies, but I owe you a life.
This boy is no longer a boy. His name shall be Little Big Man.
Aha. Roll credits. Oof. What happened here?
Why would they kill women and children?
We must have a war on these cowards and teach them a lesson.
And so the cycle continued, just one retaliation after another.
Godskins' war against the whites was kind of pitiful.
Yeah, if you're not using guns, it's not gonna end well.
God bless George Washington!
Doctor, cut your throat to get it through your head. I'm a white man.
Didn't you hear me say God bless George Washington?
Oh my gosh.
The troopers turned me over to the Reverend Silas Pendrake.
So then he just left the Cheyenne just like that. This guy just goes from one life to the next. Like it's nothing.
Dear Jack, welcome to your new home.
Is that Faye Dunaway?
It must be our task to beat the misery
The
out.
poor boy. Not while there's a breath left in my body.
I didn't mean beat him literally, my dear. I meant to beat him symbolically.
Oh my gosh. Well, her husband is an awful person, isn't he?
Give this boy an immediate, thorough bath. Take off your clothes, dear. I shall avert my eyes at the necessary moment.
Why do I not believe her?
Greatest bath I ever had in my life.
Are you thinking of Jesus, Jack?
Yes, ma'am.
No, he's not.
Moses was a Hebrew, but Jesus was a Gentile.
What? No, he wasn't. Jesus was Jewish. What is this woman teaching?
You are rather well-grown, Jack. You're small, but, nice looking.
Oh, man.
The girls, I'm sure, will all be after you. We all must resist temptation.
Sounds like you're struggling, ma'am. And there she goes. How did I know that was coming? I shall avert my eyes, of course. I'm like, yeah, sure, lady.
Miss Pendrake tutored me and I learned fast. But there was one thing I didn't know nothing about, and that was a thing called sin.
Oh, dear.
It's worth it, dear Jack.
Ooh.
I baptize you in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Oh, Lord, look down upon this poor boy who lived among the heathen.
Is he drowning him?
In thy name, I baptize you.
Someone save the boy.
I fell more and more in love with Miss Pendrake. Spiritually, of course.
Yep, sure.
I should be off for my Wednesday shopping.
Why don't you take him along and air him?
He'd be bored with the shopping.
Oh, I wouldn't, ma'am.
All right, then. You come with me, Jack.
What is happening, y'all? What is happening?
I must be off with my shopping. It would bore you terribly, Jack, dear. You stay here and have some cake.
She really didn't want him to come with her. She hiding something, shopping for something she doesn't want him to know about.
I was playing with it and enjoying myself, then all of a sudden, an awful feeling run through me. Where had that fella gone to?
Oh no. Oh my gosh, she's having an affair with that guy. Oh goodness.
That was the end of my religion period. I took up with a swindler.
Oh goodness. And there's the end of that life, and now he's on to another one.
You're improving, Jack. You just can't seem to get rid of that streak of honesty in you.
Two-legged creature will believe anything, and the more preposterous, the better. Whales speak French at the bottom of the sea. Pygmies mate with elephants in darkest Africa. I have sold all those propositions.
This is like satire. It's parts of it are funny, but it's so dark and tragic.
All right, sit right there. Are them the ones?
That's them.
7 folks are half dead because of this precious medicine. What's in it?
Mostly water.
Ugh. What's that?
It's a dozen snakeheads to give it strength.
Old snake oil. Oh my. Gonna get tarred and feathered.
Mr. Merriweather, you don't know when you're licked. I'm not licked.
Yep. You're about to get probably lit on fire or something.
What's your name, son?
Jack Crab.
Lord above!
Is that his sister?
My own brother!
I was wondering if that was his sister. Oh my gosh. Well, that was convenient.
Now you.
I don't know anything about guns. I mean, I never even carried none.
Go snake-eyed, like this.
Caroline was right. It is possible to shoot a gun before you touch it.
I can't, guys. I can't. He's squinting so much he can't even see. But somehow...
So it was. I entered my gunfighter period.
He's in his gunfighter era.
The soda pop kid. That's what they called me.
The soda pop kid. I can't, guys. I can't take it seriously.
Might I ask who I are addressing? I'm Wild Bill Hickok.
Oh my gosh.
Bring your soda pop over here and I'll sit for a while.
He could only dream of having the swag of Wild Bill. His foot doesn't reach.
How many men have you gunned down?
I don't rightly recollect how many of you.
2 dozen.
Mm-hmm.
What are you so nervous about?
Getting shot. I got a full house.
Dude.
Sorry.
Will.
Mr. Hickok, that man is really dead.
Got him through the lungs and heart, both.
Selling your gunfighter outfit, turning in your gun.
That didn't last long.
Men!
She's leaving him again?
I took me a partner, become a respectable storekeeper, and married Olga, a Swedish girl who couldn't hardly speak no English.
Got another curveball.
It's a custom.
Yeah?
This is not going as he planned.
Me and my partner, we got big plans.
Yeah?
Is that all she says? Yeah?
It must be a bookkeeping error.
Come and get some rest. You needs it.
Yeah.
Rest.
I like her. Now she's crying. What's happening?
One little thing about my new business partner, he was a thief.
Oh my gosh.
That is a pathetic scene.
Yes, sir.
Is that Custer?
Go west.
Oh!
She's awful scared of Indians.
My dear woman, you have nothing to fear from the Indians. I give you my guarantee.
Y'all, I can't. It's not funny, but it... This is madness. Oh dear. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, it's like Stagecoach. What is the point? What is the point, Jack?
Olga!
No, 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 no.
Olga.
Jack, you ain't even going to try to save her?
Hundreds of square miles looking for Olga with no luck at all.
Does anything good happen to this man? Now he's in his mountain man era, his Jeremiah Johnson era.
Finally, I had to go deeper into Cheyenne country. I didn't figure for me it was dangerous speaking Cheyenne and having once been a human being myself.
I didn't steal your father's ponies, brother.
I am not your brother. I am a human being.
I suppose you will say you have never heard of Little Big Man.
It is true. There is a thing here I do not understand. There is a pain between my ears.
A pain between my ears. I gotta save that one for later. Well, look who it is.
I saw you in a dream. You were drinking from a spring that came from the long nose of an animal. Alongside his nose, he grew two horns. And the water that gushed from his nose was full of air.
Yep, that happened.
Little Big Man has returned.
It was Little Horse, a boy who didn't want to fight the pony.
Don't you remember me? This hurts me in my heart. I think I'll cry.
He'd become a Himane, for which there ain't no English word.
I have heard of that, actually. Jack looks so confused.
Young Bear had become a contrary. Except for battle, a contrary does everything backwards. Says goodbye when he means hello, yes when he means no.
Are you for real? This movie gets stranger by the minute.
All the whites aren't crazy. I know of one who is as brave as any human being. He's called General Custer.
Good name. How did he win it?
He won it in the war of the whites to free the black men.
The black-white man. I know of them.
The black-white man?
Don't worry, my son. You'll return to the human beings. I dreamed it last night. I saw you and your wives as you crawled from one to the other.
Wives? Oh my goodness.
You look like a mule skinner. I can tell the occupation of a man merely by looking at him. Notice the bandy legs. This man has spent years with mules. Isn't that correct?
No.
Yes, sir.
Hire the mule skinner!
Yes, sir.
Mule Skinner? Terrible.
Come back!
And thus he deserted.
Shadow! Brother, let's talk!
Oh. Gosh.
That was why Shadow was there, and that was why he'd fought so hard. I sat there and watched that baby come into this world.
That is terrible timing.
Do you hate them? Do you hate the white man now?
The human beings, my son. They believe everything is alive. But the white man, they believe everything is dead. That is the difference.
Goodness.
Your new son's kicking a lot today. I think he wants to come out and see his father.
Yeah, I figured he would get with her.
Many husbands have been roped out by the white man. It is sad because women sleep alone and cry.
Be quiet now. I'm digesting.
Basically, he's just like, shut up, I'm not interested in talking.
My sisters, I think they're here. You bring in much more food than we need. It is very sad. They have no husbands and they cry.
Is she implying that she wants him to take her sisters?
I knew you'd understand.
Yep, that's exactly what she's implying. She's like, we have much more than we need, and they have no husbands anymore, so therefore... So this is how he's gonna end up with 3 or 4 wives. Oh my gosh.
It was old Lodgeskin's dream trying to come true.
Yep.
I'm a very important man. More important than you. I have a wife and 4 horses.
I have a horse and 4 wives.
My wife. She's a very good one. See?
What are we gonna eat, huh? A starved duck?
Oh my gosh.
It was Olga. I'd found her at last.
I can't believe it.
My words were not the words to speak to a stranger. You stay and eat.
Did she not recognize him?
Go in my teeth. She will cook this duck for you.
That's all right. I'm not hungry.
You humiliated him again.
Oh my gosh.
Why don't you live with me and I'll be your wife?
Oh, no.
So I finally found Olga. I had lost her long ago to the human beings, and I saw no good reason to reveal myself to her now.
Oh, man.
Your son won't wait any longer. He wants to come out and see his father.
She's so chill about it. Just like, I'm going to have my baby. Goodbye.
As I watched her walk away, it come over me that the Great Spirit wanted me to go in that teepee.
Yes, very obviously not laughing at him.
Who is this here?
It's me.
Guess you'll do as well as any.
Oh, dear.
But Lord help us, them young girls is deadly. However, the Great Spirit was with me, and I survived.
While Sunshine is off having their baby. Where's the baby? Did she lose it? Oh, thank goodness. I was about to be so sad.
What's wrong with the ponies?
Don't you hear that, my son?
Oh, they're about to get wiped out, aren't they?
I wonder why I didn't see them in my dream.
You've got to get inside.
Why bother, son? It's a good day to die.
Oh, man.
You didn't see any soldiers in your dream, and that means that they can't see you now.
I think you're right.
Then let's go to the great circle of the river.
Why do I feel like this is gonna end badly?
Them soldiers never lifted a hand to stop us. I reckon it was so crazy they couldn't figure it out.
I thought he was gonna get shot. I really did. Goodness. This movie is such a strange roller coaster of emotions.
Captain, shoot the Indian ponies.
No. Oh my gosh. No, no, no.
Run! No!
Dang it. Guys.
I think we've got a renegade, General.
Take him away and hang him.
General, don't you remember me? I'm Jack Crab, the mule skinner.
Yes, I believe I do remember that.
I was captured by the Cheyenne, held prisoner.
Now, aren't you glad I saw fit to question this man more closely?
Yes, sir.
This is such a bizarre turn of events. The way he's just going back and forth between the Indians and the white men and the army, and it's just, I can't keep up with it. It's just like shocking, to say the least. Is he about to try to kill him?
Thank you again for sparing my life.
Why are you standing to the side?
Well, because he thought about stabbing you, but then he changed his mind.
You came up here to kill me, didn't you?
Maybe.
Do I hang you? I think not. Get out of here.
That was the worst thing he could have done to me. There wasn't nothing left of my self-respect at all.
Oh, you're a sad sight, horse. You should have stuck to Sody Pop.
There's Wild Bill.
Here's $20. Go across the street to the barber and have yourself a bath and buy some clothes. Then come see me in the saloon.
I'm afraid this is going to be the night where Bill Hickok gets shot.
I'd like to ask you a confidential favor. It's a delicate matter involving a widow. If she needs a train ticket out of town, you give her this.
Sure, Bill.
Dang it, I knew it.
You know that matter we discussed? The widow?
Yes, Bill.
Don't tell my wife. That'd really get me in trouble.
I knew it.
Come in, stranger.
Oh my gosh. It's her.
My name is Lulu.
Your name ain't Lulu, you're Louise Pendrake.
Who are you?
I am Jack Cram.
Jack Cram?
I did not see this coming. How far she has fallen.
You always were a sweet boy. I often had wicked thoughts about you. I almost gave in to temptation. And now...
Oh boy.
Do you know that once I tiptoed into your room and stood over you for the longest time? It was the most awful temptation to wake you up. I wish that I had.
This woman. Oh.
For Wild Bill, was his last wish that you go to Washington and live with your maiden hand.
I must honor that wish. If you're ever in Washington, do look me up.
She is shameless. Well, good job, Jack. You did the right thing. But here he is back in the mud again.
Haven't changed a bit, Jack.
Neither are you.
So he's lost an eye and now he's lost a leg.
You can't afford to lose any more of your parts.
Every business has a particle of risk.
This is so depressing, y'all.
At that moment, I really was crazy, and I was darn near off of that cliff when...
Sergeant, take this man and give him some clothes.
Well, here we are again with Custer. Are we getting close to the Battle of the Little Bighorn?
Oh, his game is very obvious, to lead me away from his Indian friends. Anything that man tells me will be a lie. Therefore, he will be a perfect reverse barometer.
What?
You're advising me to go into the coulee.
There are thousands of Indians down there. You go down there if you got the nerve.
Still trying to outsmart me, aren't you, Mule Skinner? You really don't want me to go down there!
Oh, the mind games. We all know what comes next, don't we?
Onward to Little Bighorn and glory!
I wouldn't call it glory. How you'll be remembered, Custer. Quite the opposite. Oh boy. Oh my. Ooh.
Sound the charge! We've got to make breastwork! Don't try to tell me my business.
I'm wondering how Jack survives this.
We're running out of ammunition, General.
Let your arrows fly, savages! Get on your feet and face the enemy! The sentence is death.
What is he doing? Why is he carrying him off? What an unnecessary tragedy. Is it going to be Young Bear or whatever his name is? It is.
I paid you the life I owe you, and the next time we meet, I can kill you without becoming an evil person.
Oh my gosh.
Come, my son. We will go.
Go where, grandfather?
To the top. It is a good day to die. Thank you for my victories and for my defeat. I am going to die now. Take care of my son here. See that he doesn't go crazy.
Jack needs help. He needs some guidance for sure, because the boy has he wandered. One side of the coin to the other side of the coin and back again.
Grandfather?
Am I still in this world?
Yes, grandfather.
Sometimes the magic works, sometimes it doesn't.
And so it wasn't his time yet.
My new snake wife cooks dog very well.
Ugh.
The only trouble with snake women is they copulate with horses, which makes them strange to me.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I call her doesn't like horses. But of course, she's lying.
Oh my gosh.
That's the story of the human beings.
Mr. Crab, I didn't know.
Get out.
Wow, y'all. Well, like I said, going into this movie, I had no idea what to expect. After reading the little IMDb synopsis, I was like, okay, I have a general idea of what this is. But when I actually got into it, I was trying to figure out the tone for like the first 15 minutes or so. And I was like, is it serious? Is it funny? And then I quickly realized it was a very satirical portrayal and picture of the Old West, and this one man's journey, bizarre journey through so many different things. Like he grows up with the Indians, he lives with the Indians after his whole family is butchered by Pawnee, and then he's living with the white people, and he's with this snake oil guy, this con man, and then he's like with Custer for a little while, and then he's not, and then he's with Custer again, and it's just back and forth and back and forth, and it's bizarre, it's absurd, but not untrue. The more I read about the history of the Old West and the lives of those people, and if you just like read an individual biography of someone, you'll find that they were 10 different things over the course of their lifetime, many of which might seem contradictory, but the West was full of contradictions. You're an Indian, and then suddenly you're with the army and you're killing Indians, and then you're an Indian again, and then suddenly bizarre things like that would happen. Or you're an outlaw, and then you go to prison, and then later you're a lawman. Or maybe you never went to prison, you're just an outlaw, and then you're a lawman, and then you're an outlaw again. Bizarre stuff like that happened because the West wasn't an entirely lawless society, but a lot of areas were. Vigilantism reigned in a lot of towns. Vigilante justice, some lynch mobs. It was pretty wild. And a lot of bizarre things happened. So again, you might look at this and think, well, that's far-fetched. That wouldn't happen. Not so far-fetched, actually. A lot of bizarre contradictions like that happened in people's lives out in the Wild West because they were just trying to survive. Like poor Jack here, he was just trying to survive, and when it benefited him, he would just switch sides. He would do whatever was necessary to survive, and it was quite bleak. Quite a bleak picture of the West, really kind of seeing the worst of it. Not really seeing any heroes, just seeing the cold brutality of it, the massacres of women and children, and the hubris of General Custer, which has of course become famous in the years since. The Little Bighorn, he was quite a fascinating figure, but definitely, not a favorite of mine. I've been doing a lot of reading about him in recent years, reading about the Little Bighorn and all of what led up to it. Just the egos, the competing egos of different military figures and how they were all trying to compete with each other, and their egos ended up leading to their downfall at the Little Bighorn, Custer in particular. And he should have known what he was walking into, and he just could not turn away from it. He could not turn away from it, and caused the deaths of a lot of people, a lot of his men, because of his ego and his hubris. And it's a real tragedy, a real tragedy. I'm going to be honest with you guys, because I always want to be very honest in my reviews. This is definitely not my kind of movie. I love Westerns, but, and this was that in terms of subject matter, but very much satirical and going into the absurd and bizarre. Comedic, but comedic doesn't even feel like the right word, because it wasn't cartoonish. It wasn't meant to leave you feeling warm and fuzzy inside. It wasn't comedic in that way, so I hesitate to use that word. I would lean towards satire, which is like a sad commentary. Like it uses dark humor to commentate on sad truths. And this was definitely that. A well done, well made film for sure, well acted, but just hard to watch, honestly, hard to watch in a lot of ways, just seeing the level of tragedy that one man alone went through. And this was happening to tons of people, of course, during those times, just tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. It's very heartbreaking. And he just kind of kept going and moving on to the next thing, just keep going until he finally almost lost his mind there and jumped off that cliff, but he didn't. And he was there to see the downfall of Custer. I've been hearing about this movie for a while. Lots of my viewers have been wanting me to watch it, so I finally did it. I've finally gotten around to watching The Little Big Man. And yeah, in terms of tone, definitely not my cup of tea. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. The tone was not for me. I don't tend to be a satire fan. I can recognize the skill and the value of satire for sure, but yeah, it just leaves a bitter taste in your mouth, right? Because you're just like, oh man, the depravity of humanity, it sucks, doesn't it? It does. So yeah, it's hard to see that, see the dark side of humanity like that with not really any uplifting message or conclusion at the end, but I do see the value in such pictures as well, novels, etc. So yeah, even though this will not be a favorite of mine, I am glad that I've watched it and I finally have it. I've added it to my cultural lexicon, as I call it. I have, these blank spots where I haven't seen this or I haven't seen that, and I was glad to fill in this blank spot in my cultural lexicon, add Little Big Man there. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reaction. Be sure to drop a like, a comment if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't. Check out the link in the description below for my full-length watch-along over on my Patreon. And become a member. Join my channel if you want to support my content, support what I do. I appreciate every single one of you who keep this channel going. You support my novels, my artwork, everything, and it means the world to me. So thank you. Thanks again, guys, for watching, and I will see you guys again very soon for another Film Friday.